Google did not just ship a Mac app. It just made a bid for the most valuable real estate in consumer AI, the desktop habit. That is the part most headlines will undersell. A native Gemini app on macOS sounds small, almost boring. But small is exactly the point. Google is trying to reduce AI from a destination you visit into a reflex you use. Option plus space, instant access, local file context, window sharing, and back to work. That is not flashy product theater. That is distribution engineering. And distribution is where this market is getting brutal. OpenAI still owns a huge amount of mindshare, especially among people who already pay for AI and build routines around it. Apple owns the device. Microsoft owns massive enterprise workflow. Google, despite its model strength, still needs more places where Gemini feels native instead of optional. Mac is one of those places. Why does that matter? Because premium AI revenue will not be decided only by who has the smartest model on a benchmark. It will be decided by who gets inserted into the highest frequency moments: drafting, summarizing, researching, budgeting, creating, comparing. The company that captures those tiny repeated moments gets usage, feedback loops, subscription leverage, and eventually pricing power. Google's announcement is also quietly defensive. Search is evolving, browsers are crowded, and AI assistants are becoming the layer that stands between users and the open web. If ChatGPT becomes the default work companion on premium laptops, Google risks losing not just attention, but future monetizable intent. So this launch is not merely Gemini expanding. It is Google defending the surface where tomorrow's demand gets formed. There is also a deeper Apple angle here. Google is building a native foothold inside a premium hardware ecosystem it does not control. That matters because whoever owns the assistant relationship on high-value devices gets a better chance to shape future subscriptions, defaults, and even where users start their next search, document, or purchase decision. In other words, the desktop shortcut is a tiny feature with empire-level implications. The most interesting detail is that Google is giving this native experience to all Gemini users for free. That tells you the immediate goal is not margin extraction. It is habit capture. First win presence. Then fight for monetization once the workflow is sticky. So the verdict is simple: this is not a Mac app story. It is a power story. Google is trying to buy a stronger position in the AI desktop war by lowering friction to nearly zero. And if that works, the real loser is not Apple. It is whichever AI rival gets pushed one shortcut farther away from the user.